Hi, can you introduce yourself and the company, please?
Yes, sure. Hi, my name is Tamas Kadar, CEO and co-founder of SEON.
Wow, okay. And what is SEON doing?
SEON is providing a command center for risk and compliance teams. We are providing a unified platform to screen and monitor customers, manage alerts, review their transactions, investigate the customers, and also we help with regulatory reporting.
I suspect you are providing this to multiple type of businesses, to multiple verticals, but right now we are at SBC Summit Malta, which is an iGaming event, and I suppose iGaming is one of your most significant verticals.
Yes, indeed. We started out in the iGaming world. We are working with some of the leading providers in this space. Originally, we were helping mainly with their bonus abuse issues, looking at multi-accounting customers. So we have built a platform where all the different sources are or of our IP. We are able to look at the customer's digital footprint and device in order to detect any level of anomaly.
Okay, some of the viewers might not be familiar with this problem space. What is really a type of abuse, or what type of abuses are coming up within iGaming that you help solving or tackling?
Yes, definitely. So what we see is that all the different operators are attracting customers with generous bonus and promo offers. So fraudsters are taking advantage of these incentives. Basically, they are creating multiple accounts and using stolen and falsified identity documents to bypass the regular KYC checks. So we're adding an extra layer to that in order to make sure that the customers who are on board are genuine and real people.
Okay, I understand. So normally this is something that the operator does in-house, but you are providing this service as an outsource or maybe as an additional type of check. What's the advantage for an operator to use your services compared to do it in-house?
I think none of the operators' core business is to take care of fraud or AML. So we have built a solution which is an API-based platform. Essentially, we are only focused in making sure that our customers can make the best and most accurate decisions throughout the entire customer journey. Looking at the different signals that we can collect and surface for our clients would be very hard to build in-house. And we are providing best practices in-house from our global client base and also tapping into the full network of SEON. So if one operator would onboard a client who was already flagged based on their email address, IP, or device by another customer of ours, we can actually detect those and stop the onboarding process for that specific customer.
Okay, so you are doing checks at the registration step only, or you do multiple checks throughout the customer lifecycle?
So we are covering every risk-related touch point within the entire customer lifecycle. So we look at onboarding, so registration, we look at logins to detect account takeover attacks, we look at deposits, withdrawals, and any other touch points. So we can also look at like the betting activity, we can look at all the specific touch points where our clients would see any level of risk, and we can mitigate those issues.
So is it fair to say that you are collecting a lot of data?
Yes, SEON is collecting data from the customer side, like the email address, IP, the residential address, all those data points which are actually revealed by the customer throughout the onboarding flow. So every business has a form that you have to fill and at least leave one specific contact point, like an email or phone number. But the real mode, the really unique proposal to the market is the enrichment process, where we collect thousands of signals of the customer email, phone, IP, device, and also all the AML checks that we can do for screening purposes.
Okay, there is a lot of data science going on there, I suppose. But let's talk about data privacy and data security, because let's say, from a player point of view and user point of view, that's always the biggest concern. I give my data to an operator and it's a little bit of a black box. Of course, if it's a regulated country, then there are checks in place. But how SEON ensures that my data is safe?
So we are originating from EU, and we have started the whole company, making sure that we comply with all the EU regulations, so GDPR. According to GDPR, fraud detection is a legitimate interest for data collection and storing, unlike some other marketing-related activities. We're also ISO 27001 compliant, and as well as SOC 2. We have now a large customer base also in the US. You have to meet all the different regulations across the globe.
Okay, it's really good to have as many certifications as possible. My other question would be regarding the accuracy of your services, because accuracy is almost everything here. If you falsely flag a customer being, abuser, and it's not, then it's a friction from a customer point of view. And if you let abusers through, then that's bad for the operators. What's the magic, so to say, behind the accuracy?
Yeah, we have invested a lot of resources into making sure that we provide the most accurate decisions. So when our customers on board, we start with an unsupervised machine learning based model. We call them default rules. It's completely white box. So we don't utilize for the end decisions any primarily black box decision making. Essentially, when they go live, they start with this specific rule set, and over time they can build custom rules in a fully flexible environment on a no-code platform. And as we are collecting feedback related who turned out to be a fraudster eventually, or legitimate customer, they provide these labels back so we can train a new model for them. We provide new rule suggestions to machine learning, and then they can see the precision and recall metrics in the platform. They can see the entire confusion matrix, and they can see the monetary values, how much they are saving through using SEON, how much they might be blocking. But I would say the false positive range is less than 0.1% as of now.
That's very impressive. From a player's point of view, what's the advantage for me to use an operator where SEON is providing the fraud checks, as opposed to, I don't know, in-house or an alternative provider?
So our current solution is entirely invisible and friction-free for the customer. We don't ask for any specific information or don't collect data beyond what the operator would do. The benefit really is from the client of our customer's perspective is that they're working with a provider who is most likely investing heavily into making sure they meet security and compliance requirements, and they invest heavily into making sure that their accounts cannot be accessed by external fraudsters or hackers. Account takeover is also a growing issue where stolen passwords are being used to access individual accounts and then withdraw cash from those wallets. Now we can help them to protect their accounts, and it's fully invisible, so they don't experience any friction throughout the entire journey.
Yes. Security is very important for players, for sure. And how the operator or you handle false positives? Because I know accuracy is very high with you, but it's never zero. So what's happening in those cases?
Yeah, so whenever there will be a case of a false positive, our clients can immediately reclassify those specific customers and transactions, and then it trains the algorithm to make better decisions the next time. So we actually can tell our clients that, hey, based on this specific rule, you will block X amount of transactions or monetary volumes. We can tell how much money would be lost or saved thanks to those rules. But actually, they can also use an API to directly let us know if we have seen any specific events of false positives, and then that helps the model to be retrained and automatically make more accurate and better decisions at the next time.
Excellent. Now let's talking about the pricing model. How does it work in a case of an operator?
It's very straightforward. So we don't charge any in advance or integration fee. Every event is for us an API call, and there's a micro fee for every API call. And it's tier based, so higher the volumes are, lower the unit fee can get for each of the check, each of the API call. And then it's a postpaid model based on usage. So very straightforward, very easy to calculate with. Also, there is no black box involved in terms of how we are calculating our pricing. I think the big advantage for us, since the whole platform was built from scratch, unlike many other providers out there, we're not orchestrating a bunch of third-party sources, which makes us much more cost-effective, and they can actually go through a free trial to validate the ROI from a cost perspective and a value perspective. We don't charge also for those exercises.
So technically it's possible to compare SEON services with other fraud providers side by side when they are trying.
Yes, in many cases, usually when we start to work with new clients, they already have either in-house solution or they use some form of a point solution and they orchestrate this point solution. So what they can do is actually use us in parallel with what they have and then compare the end results, looking at precision, recall, and how much they can actually save using SEON. It's very straightforward, and we help usually our clients to make sure they have the right report at hand to make an educated decision.
You talked a lot about automation, but do you also do manual checks? I believe at KYC sometimes manual checks are also needed.
So the platform surfaces all the different data points. As I mentioned, the decision-making algorithm is completely white box. So they can see all the triggered rules, they can see all the different scores, all the weights of these different rules that they can add or we can add to the system for them. Usually, a lot of our customers have already existing policies which they would like to implement from the get-go. We can help with that. It's, by the way, very easy and simple to use the no-code rules engine. But then, over time, we do offer a specific service called Managed Risk, where one of our internal employee can be a fractional extension to our customers team, and we can, in that case, take over the ongoing maintenance activity. Fraud is never sleeping. Fraud is always changing, and it requires our clients to adopt to the emerging patterns in an agile manner. So on one hand, they can turn to us, they can get top-notch support in a proactive way to actually make sure that they quickly change the algorithm and the model to adapt to those emerging patterns, but as well as we can completely take over that responsibility and we can build a team for our clients on our side.
Okay, that's perfect. And I suppose because you mentioned that you have so many certification and you are also GDPR compliant, that also brings the benefit for the player that if they close their account, they can also reach out to you and ask their data to be deleted?
Yes, definitely. So we actually provide an API for that. We can extract all the different customer details upon request according to the GDPR regulation, but as well as we are not in direct contact with the customers of our clients. They can reach out to our client, the operator usually, and ask for deletion of their data. We can do it manually or we can do it automatically through an API.
Perfect. And I haven't really asked about the company's history and the future plans. Maybe you could highlight a little bit?
Yes, definitely. So we started out about 7 years ago. Originally, we were located in Hungary. Myself and my co-founders were Hungarians, and we have felt fraud issues on our own skin by launching a crypto exchange and quickly losing, within the first week, more than €1,000 due to fraud. So we were looking at different solutions on the market, but we couldn't find an appropriate vendor who could cater to our needs. So we decided to actually build an in-house solution and then pivoted to launch SEON as a B2B software as a service business. And then in the last couple of years, we have expanded first over to the UK, where we have opened a GTM office just before COVID started. And then my co-founder and myself have relocated to the US, to Austin, Texas, where we have set up the headquarters in US to aid the global expansion. Now we operate in 3 locations, and also we have recently opened a 4th one in Singapore to have the APAC expansion. We have 300 employees today, raised more than 110 million in venture capital funds, and considered as the largest tech company in Hungary.
That is really, really impressive, and congratulations to that. And any plans for the future that you don't mind sharing?
Yes, definitely. So the reason why we came here also is to announce our new full-stack AML compliance suite, building on the existing very successful fraud solutions. Now we are specifically offering AI-powered real-time screening tools for customers and payments, also case management, transaction monitoring, and regulatory reporting. On one hand, this is very important for us to become this unified command center for risk and compliance teams, but also we are heavily investing into AI initiatives. Our goal is to make sure that our customers can grow freely with us, so we are investing in workflow improvements in specific parts of the UI in order to make sure that our customers can be as efficient as possible, they can increase their productivity, and also making sure that in case the transaction volume goes up by 2x, they wouldn't have to hire 2x the team, but giving the tools in their hands where they can be the most productive.
I'm very happy to hear these future ambitions, and I wish you the best, and hopefully we see each other in one of the next conferences too.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much. Thank you.